Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. If you follow basketball, you know Chilltown Hoops.
So this is really good right here. Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world? Y'all know what time it is when you see me. It is Monday evening. We are discussing pro basketball. And the new year is coming. So it's time to reflect on what we've seen in the past, what's been going on throughout the course of this year. It's been good, yo. It's been really good. And we're also here to celebrate King James. To celebrate King James. Think about that, man. The dude been in the league for 22 years. Right? 22 years he been in the league. And today is his birthday. He's 40 years old. 40. That's pretty impressive, man. 40 years old, considering where he came from and everything that he's done. Yo, what up, Breezy? Everything that he's done, how it started, what he's been since he came in the league, and what he still is today. He's been nothing short of great. Nothing short of great. And I'm on record saying that he's the best I've ever seen. And it took me a long time to come to that conclusion, but I'm here now and I'm on it. So I'm feeling good. See, I'm good. I'm feeling good. Sees, what's up with you, brother? Where did this whole thing start? This whole thing started in Akron, and I was introduced to him in 2002 when Shaq told me that there's this kid. Shaq told me that there's this kid that's in Akron, Ohio, that's playing basketball in high school that he thinks can play in the NBA right now. This is a 17-year-old. He's like, yo, this dude could play in the pros right now, today. He does not need school. No, he does not need to go to school. And this was during the time when the league was full of adults. The high school wave, it had started, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, Bryant started it in 90. Kevin Garnett started it in 95. Bryant came in with it in 96. But after that, it was still a bunch of guys. It still was not the norm to come out of high school up until like when James showed up. Guys were still doing it. Tyson Chandler, Al Harrington, the kid that played for the Warriors with Steph Curry. He did it, and he didn't get drafted. The rules were different, and it still was a different game, and it was a game of adults. So when him coming into the pros and him doing that, absolutely, Donnie, Tracy McGrady, with him coming into the pros and being so pro ready, I was surprised at that. Even though when I saw him in high school, I want to make sure that I preference this, that him coming in, right? Him coming in 2003, I had seen him in 2002, and Shaq had told me about him in 2002. At 17 years old, he was like, yo, this kid, he might be ready to play. He might be ready to play in the pros right now. And knowing Shaq and knowing how Shaq is, especially during that time when it was a league full of adults, talking that highly about a kid, I was surprised about that. Like, really? So his senior year in high school, I paid attention to him, and watching him, I'm like, this kid's got the goods. He 100% has the goods. And the more I watched him, the more of a franchise player I thought he could be. Now, did I think that he would be this good? Nah. On no level did I ever think that he would be this good. I can tell you in 2013, when he had won the league MVP for the fourth time in 5 years, he had won the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons. He had finished second in Defensive Player of the Year for the second time in 5 years. I wasn't even interested in having the GOAT debate. I wasn't even interested in it at that point. I was like, no, he ain't that good. No. Now, I think around probably 2000, probably 2012, probably 2012. Around that time, I felt like we could start having the top 10, top 5 conversation. We could start having that. Considering what he had already done up until that point, we could start having the top 10 conversation, being the back-to-back league MVP, just missing out on being defensive player of the year. We could start having that conversation. I'm down to do that. But in 2013, the conversation with Jordan, nah, I wouldn't entertain that. I would not. But the fact that he's 40 years old and he's still playing in the NBA at a high level. Something was brought to my attention earlier today about James having 4, count them, 4 Hall of Fame resumes. His first 7 years in his first 7 years in Cleveland. Well, his first 7 years in Cleveland, he was an All-Pro. He made the All-Pro team for the first time in 2005. I'm sorry, 2006. First time he made the All-Pro team in year 3. And so 4 to 7 years that he played in Cleveland, he was an All-Pro, was a league MVP in back-to-back years, was the defensive player of the year, runner-up. Took his team to the NBA championship. He was an all-star 6 of those 7 years. I mean, I think that you can make the argument that could be a Hall of Fame career. In Miami, those 4 years, won the league MVP twice in those 4 years. I think 2010, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Of those 4 years, I think he finished in the top 3 every year, including 10, 11, 11, 12, and 12, 13. 3 of those 4 years, he finished first or second in league MVP votes. He finished top 5 in defensive player of the year all 4 of those years. He won the league MVP in back-to-back years, won the NBA championship twice, was the finals MVP twice. And just in those 4 years, I think that from 2014-15 up until the 17-18 season, right? From 14-15 up until the 17-18 season, I mean, that's where you can have I think that's where you maybe can have some pushback, considering, 14-15, that was probably the least that James had been up until that point. He had a back injury. With him having a back injury, I think I think that was the first time he finished outside. I think that was the first time that he had finished outside the top 3 in league MVP votes that year. But he still took his team to the NBA championship. And the question that needs to be answered is what are you famous? Because that's what the Hall of Fame is, essentially. What are you famous for? Why are you famous? When you're talking about being in the Hall of Fame, what did you produce? Right? What did you produce to suggest that you're a Hall of Fame worthy? And I think during that time, those 4 years, I think he finished second. No, I'm sorry. In 2016, he finished second or third. It was him. It was Curry. It was Kawhi Leonard, and I think it was James in 2016. I know he finished top 5 that year, no doubt about that. And then in 2017, after winning the NBA championship in the 16-17 season, he finished top 5 in defensive player of the year that year. He was first team All-Pro all 4 of those years. Right? He was first team All-Pro all 4 of those years in Cleveland from 14-15 to 17-18. He was first team All-Pro, made the All-Star team every year, finished top 3 in league MVP votes, I think 3 of the 4 years that he played in Cleveland. I personally thought he should have won the league MVP in 18 for what he did with that Cleveland team, taking them to the NBA championship. They were in 4th place. There was a time when that team, what up, Lone? There was a time when that team was, in James's estimation, bad enough that they shouldn't be on TV. He had said that. I don't think we should be on TV. That's how bad he thought they were. And they still were competing. He thought that they shouldn't have been on television. So to take that team to the NBA championship, and in the process of doing that, still playing at a high level, he was fantastic. And then the 7 year, because we're in year 7 now, right? We're in year 7 now with him playing with the Lakers. And in the 7 years that he's played there, 6 of those, and this is, like I said, this is year 7. 6 of the 7 years that he's played there, he's been on an all-pro team every year. He finished second in league MVP votes in the 2020 season. They won the NBA championship that year. Made the All-Star team every year. He got hurt in 21, which would explain one of the reasons why they weren't good enough to get it done. I think that he's got, now that that's been brought to my attention, sure. I think that I think the argument can be made that he's had 4 different Hall of Fame careers. And we've had guys who've had short stints where they've been grade A, and that's been what their career is. I mean, I think Derrick Rose is going to the Hall of Fame. If he doesn't go to the Hall of Fame, he'll be the only league MVP in NBA history not to be in the Hall of Fame. He'll be the only one. There is no other league MVP in NBA history since the inception of the league MVP, which was the 55-56 season when Bob Cousy won it for the first time. Or was it? Yeah, it was Bob Cousy who won it for the first time. There has not been a player in NBA history who's been the league MVP that's not in the Hall of Fame. If Derrick Rose is not in the Hall of Fame, he would be the first. And he had a short run of those 3 years, right? He's had a short run of those 3 years. So Derrick Rose will be the only one to, and not only will he be the only league MVP, he'll be the only league MVP and NCAA finalist not to be in the Hall of Fame. He'll be the only one. There's no other league MVP. There's no other guy that's been the league MVP and been an NCAA finalist, played in the national championship, that's not in the Hall of Fame. That's never happened. Never. So with James, right? With James and everything that he's done, he may have had in that short period of time in Miami and in that short period of time in Cleveland, he may have had 4 Hall of Fame. He may have had four Hall of Fame resumes on 2 different teams. Oh, I'm sorry, on 3 different teams. And I have to be honest, it's impressive. And the fact that he's still around at 40 years old, 22 years, right? 22 years in the league. That's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal for somebody to be playing that long, to come out of high school, still doing it. I don't think he's going to be an All-Pro this year. I would be very surprised if LeBron James made the All-NBA team this year. I would be very surprised if he made the All-NBA team this year. Very surprised, because I don't think he's playing at an All-Pro level consistently. I don't. I do not. But what I do know is if he doesn't make the All-Pro team, it'll be the only time that he didn't make the All-Pro team since his rookie season. That was 21 years ago. So 22 years in the league, which is, by the way, he's 40 years old. That's more than half my life. That's more than half my life that I've been in pro basketball. More than half my life I've been doing this. I reference this, right? I reference this as much as I possibly can because I don't think that it can be undersold. There's a generation of kids that don't know the NBA Finals without LeBron James. There's a generation of kids that don't know the NBA Finals without him. I've spoken to kids. I've spoken to adults who will tell me, OG, from the 3rd grade up until I was 22 years old, he was in the NBA championship. OG, from me being in the 8th grade to me being 30 years, he was in the finals. From 6th grade up until I was 25 years old, or I was 24 years old, he's been in the NBA championship. There's a generation of kids that don't know the NBA championship without him in. Just like when I was a kid, I didn't know the NBA Finals without Bird or Magic in it. That was going on. That was 100% going on. From 1980 to 1989 or to 1991, I did not know the NBA Finals without Bird or Magic in it. One of those two guys was in it every year. So to say that, so to say that you've been doing it for that long and you still here, we were not talking about Jabbar like this when he was 40 years old. Jabbar was 40 years old in 1987. In 1987, he was 40 years old. We wasn't talking about him like we talking about James. Jabbar wasn't considered at that time in 1987. He wasn't still a top 10 player in the game. He wasn't. At 40 years old. I mean, he had just won the NBA Finals MVP in 86, 85, and he was the oldest player in NBA history to do it. He was 38. So 2 years later, Magic takes over as the guy offensively, and James Worthy had surpassed him at that point in 87. And that's not to say that that's not to scoff at that James Worthy was better than Jabbar. Yeah, he was better than Jabbar. When Jabbar was 40, yes, James Worthy was better than him. Yes, he was. But we weren't talking about Jabbar like that in 1987. No, we weren't. It was Magic. It was Bird. Those are the two guys that we were talking about. Jordan was becoming that. And the league was filled with a bunch of great players. But in the league, I feel like it's filled with a bunch of great players today. And because the league is filled with a bunch of great players today, it's even more amazing that we're still talking about a 40-year-old who's been around for as long as he's been around. Now, I'm in the minority when I say that I think this is James's last year. I think he stuck around this year to get his boy acclimated. I think he stuck around this year to get his boy acclimated to the NBA life, who's, by the way, in the G League, and he's been playing pretty well. I think he stuck around this year to get his boy acclimated. In the process of getting his boy acclimated, he gets to spend time with him, very much like what was going on with King Griffey and King Griffey Jr., because King Griffey Sr. was not very good when Griff showed up. No, his best days were behind him. His best days were still behind him. But I would not be surprised if, and again, his best days were behind him, and it was time for Griff to move on. With that being said, I would not be surprised if James decided at the end of the season that, yo, I'm out. I'm good. I got 22 years in this. There's no reason for me to stick around and keep doing this. I've done everything that I could possibly do. All of the records that I have, my resume is going to be unmatched for what I've done. And like I said, I would not be surprised if he decided to give it up this year. I hear people telling me that James is going to play another 3 or 4 more years. I'm thinking you're not realistic when you say stuff like that, right? You're not realistic if you're saying stuff like he's going to play 3 or 4 more years. I can't see James 42, 43 years old still in the NBA. No, I can't see it. No. But I would not be surprised if he wrapped it up after this year. And I would be surprised if he made the All-Pro team, because I don't think he's playing at an All-Pro level. Yo, we got a bunch of good players. We got a bunch of good players playing at a high level in the league right now. We got a bunch of them. And I'm not interested in this legacy vote. I'm not interested in this, him being grandfathered in as an All-Pro. Man, that means something to be an All-Pro. I've always felt like that. And I take I've always felt like that, and I always will feel like that. I take being an All-Pro very seriously. Being an All-Pro means I'm the best of the best. I'm the best of the best. Can I say today that James even though I don't think that there's 15 players in the game better than him, even if you ran down the list of great players in the game today, I think it gets dicey if you ran down the top 10 players in the game. I think it gets dicey at around 7 or 8. I think that's where we can start having conversations about him. But he's not definitive like he used to be. But the fact that we still can have a conversation about him being a top 10 player, a top 10 player at 40 years old, we wasn't doing that with Jabbar. We were not doing that with Jabbar in 1987. No, we weren't. We were not doing that with Jabbar. No, we were not. We were not doing that with Jabbar in 1988. No, we weren't. At 40, 41 years old. We were not. It was over. What's up? What's up, Dre? How you doing, brother? And I understand that there's people who they don't want to see him go. I understand that there's people who do not, and I'm going to say this one more time for the people in the cheap seats. I do not fault you for that. In 2003, I was not ready to let Jay go. I wasn't. No, I was not. Even though it was obvious that he was over. I'm not saying that he could have played to it. Was obvious that Jay was over. And remember, I was around when he had hair, and they used to call him Air Jordan. I remember that dude. We go from that dude to in 2002 where Jerry Stackhouse is like, I'm better than him. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if I can argue that. As good as Jay was at 38 years old, this dude might be better than you. I mean, Jerry Stackhouse, I think he was third. I think he was second in the league that year in scoring in 2000, in 2001. So when Jordan shows up, Stack is looking at Jordan like, I'm better than him. And to be honest with you, I couldn't fault him for that. Not because of what Jordan had accomplished, but he was old at that point. And I don't want to see a guy, to be honest with you, I don't want to see you turn into what Doc turned into, because Doc was over in 87. But I was comfortable letting Doc go because Jordan had showed up. I was comfortable in that. I wasn't comfortable in letting Jay go because I thought that that was as good as it got. But he was telling us that you got to let me go. You got to let me go. What I used to have, I don't have it anymore. So you got to let me go. You got to let me be. I don't have it anymore. And I had to accept that. I did. And the league was in good hands because Shaq was running around. Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Ray Allen, LeBron James had just shown up. So the league was in great hands. I think with the young talent that we have, I think the league is in good hands. I don't think we've met James yet. I don't think we've met Jordan yet, or Jabbar, or Magic, or Bird. I don't think we met him yet. I do think that we've got a lot of great players in the league, though. I 100% believe that. Anybody who knows me knows. Anybody who knows me knows how I feel about Jason Tatum. I love that guy. I love everything about him. I can do without, the long ball shooting, but I do know that that's a part of his game, and he's still awesome. And I love Jason Tatum. 100%. I love him. And I think that the league is in good hands. I just don't think that we met James yet. I don't think we met Jordan yet. I don't think we met that guy who is going to be, when you turn the NBA on, this is the face of it. This is the guy. Now, I'm on record saying, I'm on record saying that there's guys like Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball. We got to get those guys in some etiquette classes. Yes, we do. We got to get those guys in some etiquette classes, and we gotta clean them up a little bit, because when the camera comes on, it gets real. It gets real dicey. It does. But that's fixable. I don't think that that's something that we can't fix. We can fix that. 100% we can fix that. So with that being said, the league is in good hands. And we've always had transitional periods. don't forget, again, today is LeBron James's 40th birthday. 40 years that this dude's been around. 22 of those years he's been in the NBA. So since 18, this is who we've known. And we've seen him grow. Am I going to see something like that again in my lifetime? I don't think so. Do I think that something like that is going to happen again? Yes. I just don't think I'm going to be allowed to see it. No. I don't think I'm going to be allowed. I don't think I'm going to be allowed to see another guy go 20 plus years, score 40 plus thousand points, be in the NBA championship 9 times in 10 years. I don't think I'm going to be around to see that. Play at that level for 20 years. I don't think I'm going to be around to see that. I don't. I doubt very seriously that I'm going to be around to see that. And the league does a good job in making a transition, because we've seen the league in transitional periods. Like I said, LeBron James is going to be 40 years old, so he's been in the league for 22 years, and the staple, right? And the staple for longevity. But I don't think the league has prepared enough for the departure of James. And the reason why is because he's been around for so long. So you're used to seeing him. See, David Stern was a visionary. David Stern lost Magic, Bird, Jordan, and Isaiah Thomas, all in succession. 4 straight years. That's who he lost. I'm going to say that one more time for y'all so y'all remember what I'm talking about. In a 4-year span, not 4 years or 4 times in 6 years, 4 years straight, he lost Magic in 91, lost Bird in 92, lost Jordan in 93, lost Isaiah Thomas in 94. And what did he do? He was able to push the league forward by respecting what the masses wanted. I got this charismatic, fun-loving big guy down in Orlando who's awesome, who's mean as a snake, who's destroying backboards. He's must-see TV. We got to get the camera on him. We got to get the camera on him. Put the camera on him more. Yes, sir. We have to do that. We got this stoic offensive machine down in Houston, and they're winning. And he's very much businesslike. Put the camera on him some more too. We got to put the camera on him more. Yes. We got this stand up, and remember, when you're talking about the face of the league, right? When you're talking about the face of the league, we're talking about stand-up guys. Right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about stand-up guys. We ain't talking about, we're not talking about flashes in the pan. We're talking about stand-up guys. Man, get your ass out of my chat, goofball. Get the hell out of here. Get out of my chat. Get out of here. We're talking about stand-up guys. Right? That's what we're talking about. David Robinson, scoring machine. Put together like a Spartan. With him being put together like that, and he's a stand-up guy. Put the camera on him. We got this outspoken offensive force and a rebounding machine in Phoenix. Put the camera on him. So we had people, and David Stern was a visionary, and he saw it. Put the camera on him. Put the camera on him more. We got to start marketing these guys more. And winning matters. And in addition to winning mattering, these guys were stand-up guys. Yes, they were. 100% they were. Barkley was a bit of a loose cannon, so we had to be careful on how we handled him. But I thought that the NBA did a great job in marketing him, with the deodorant commercials, being uncivilized, because Charles was out here throwing people through windows. Charles getting in fights. Charles was wild as hell. 100% he was. So, I have to ask the question, what was David Stern's plan? Well, I'm going to market Charles as being more civilized. That's how I'm gonna market him. I'm not gonna market him as this thug and mean figure. No, I'm gonna market him as approachable. I'm gonna market him as somebody who I'm gonna market him as somebody that you would want to talk to if you saw him in the street. Not somebody that if you see him, yo, you got to stay away from him. No, I'm gonna market him like that. So when I when I see these guys, right? When I see these guys, I'm thinking to myself, who are we marketing today? Because LeBron James is on his way out, 40 years old. 40 years old he is. I don't see him playing more than 2 more seasons. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I don't see him playing more than 1 more season. I think this season, next season tops, I think he's out. I wouldn't be surprised, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he was out after this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he was out after this year, but definitely I see him out after next year. So to celebrate the excellence of LeBron James, I mean, I think that that's pretty impressive for everything that he's done, man. I think that that's really impressive for everything that he's done and how awesome he's been, because he's just been nothing short of that. And to be around that long and to not have those kind of quote unquote blemishes, to not have those kind of blemishes on your career, you know, I've always been an advocate that, you know, I ain't never seen his mugshot. He's not getting DUIs. He's not out here smacking up chicks. He doesn't have a bunch of kids by a bunch of different women. In fact, he's got 3 kids by the chick that he was messing with since high school. And he's married to her today. And he's married to her today. This woman that he's been seeing since he was 16 years old. And sure, I mean, I don't think that there's a level of praise. There's a level of praising people for doing what you're supposed to do. But I don't think that I'm not one of those people who believes that you shouldn't get credit for doing what you're supposed to do. I'm not one of those people. I've never been one of those people. I never will be one of those people. So you have no evidence of that, Joey. You have none whatsoever. What you do, Joey, is you listen to the tabloids, you listen to gossip. That's who you are. You come with no facts, nothing of the sort. That's all you are. You're a troll who, if I'm at a party with somebody, that means that I'm taking part in that stuff. You ain't got no facts that he did that. You have none. You have no facts that he did that. None whatsoever. If he did that, if he was going off of that, then I think that's different. No, Natalie or Natalia, whatever your name is, you heard him say he was at Diddy's parties. You didn't hear him say that he was partaking in all that other stuff. You're assuming that. So you don't know. You don't know at all. You're just going off of what you heard. And that's fine. I take no issue with that, because people are going to gossip anyway. That's who you guys are. What you guys want to do, and this is who people are. You guys want to tear people down that you think you made. That's who you guys are. But you're not going to do that with me. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not. I'm not trying to hear that. You guys want to tear down people that you think that you made to make you feel better about you and what you got going on in your life. Check yourself. How about you do that? Check yourself. How about that? Check yourself. Do that. Check yourself. Do that. That's what I want you to do. Check yourself. Check out what's going on in your life. Give me a break. But anyway, this is about LeBron James turning 40 and the greatness of him and how long he's been around and what he's been doing. This is about James, and I want to hear from you guys. I do. I want to hear from you guys and what you have to say about who James is and what's on your mind. What up, Sneed?
What up, Chill?
What up?
So Bron's had some lowlights in his career and he's had some highlights. He's had the extremes, chill. You know what I mean? He's had the JJ Barea moments, right? The 2011, '07, I think was a bad moment for him too in the finals with the Spurs. You know, but he had his moments of redemption, getting a couple rings in Miami,
The
getting the big
decision,
one.
don't leave that out. The decision, don't
Yeah,
leave that out. That was bad.
yeah.
The
From
decision
the
was bad too.
optics standpoint. And then
Mhm.
but I think the redemption in Cleveland, right? Getting that
Mhm.
championship was huge for his career.
Mhm.
So we
Yes,
can
it was.
celebrate this when he retires. You have to sit here and evaluate his game. He's forcing the Lakers to have to reconstruct the roster in a way that accommodates what he can and can't do. So at this point, his defense is so lackluster, right? There's just no vigor and energy on a full-time scale, right? It's like momentary. He's got some help defense moments where he helps with a block, but he's not able to sustain defending anybody that has speed or anybody with quickness. He's getting, he's napping on defense. Guys are going by him on the baseline. Like we see all these weird things happen that never used to happen, right?
Mhm.
But at this point, it's like, okay, you just traded D'Lo. You know why they traded D'Lo. There's no place for him on this roster because LeBron's going to be ball dominant like D'Lo needs to be, right? So you and D'Lo doesn't play defense either. So
Mhm.
you need guys to come in that can actually play defense to try to compensate. Chill, you've been on teams where you got a good thing going, but there's that one part of the team that's just weak and you just can't go anywhere with them. So your ceiling is very, very low right now if you're the Lakers, right? AD is a star. AD, in my opinion, one of the best two-way players in the league. I don't think anybody can argue that. But
Mhm.
but you're not getting the most out of him because he's being forced to carry a lot of responsibility offensively and defensively. But LeBron can only do so much. Look, you got the groin injuries a couple years ago. You got the foot injuries, keeps crapping up. He's got to take some date games off. So you don't always have continuity. And then with all of that, you still get the same prima donna things that always came with LeBron from day one in Cleveland. So now you've got the aging star. You've got a disconnection, almost delusion, because he probably still feels he can really carry because he's a star, right? He was the megastar for like 2 decades.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks that. I don't. I don't think he thinks he can still carry. I don't. I think he's confident that I think he wants to turn the reins over to Anthony Davis. And I think he's wanted to do that for years now. I don't think that that's something that is just becoming a revelation now. No, I think he's always wanted to do that. I think Anthony Davis hasn't accepted that. And I think that's the biggest problem. And just for the record, Sneak, just so you know that they're a game and a half out the 4 spot with James. They're a game and a half out the 4 spot today with James on the roster. So, I mean, you talking to me like he's a detriment to this crew. Like they're in 12th place and they're in cap hell where they can't do anything.
Okay,
And
so
that's just not true.
when he plays more, are they better or worse?
I think that they're better when he plays more.
Okay, because I see a turnover prone, ball dominant player that limits the upside of some of his teammates.
Like who? I mean, when you say limits the upside, he's the best passer on the crew. That's number one. He's the best passer who he
But
will
they're
come off the
right.
ball.
Oh, okay. But what I'm saying mostly is defensively. I think that's where the pain for the Lakers is defense. I mean, I'm looking at plus minuses. It's not because LeBron can't score. He can clearly still score. The defense collectively as a team is not good. And he's one of the reasons. I'm not going to say he's the only one because there's
Sure,
guys all over the roster. They
sure.
can't defend, chill. But the
Anthony
coach
Davis
can't.
too. Anthony
Yeah,
Davis is a problem too on
he
defense.
he has his moments where you're like, why is he caught in the screen like this? Why is he
Mhm.
playing this under? Or like we've seen it. But I'm just saying, chill. Like there's a version of the Lakers season. All it takes is one wrong thing to happen, and they could lose 10 in a row. I really feel like that roster is so brittle. I think JJ Redick is a weak coach because they haven't addressed any of the problems from the first 2 weeks of the season that I saw. They just had some wins, so you're like, "Oh, they're doing a great job." But when you're evaluating a team in the regular season, you're looking for strengths and weaknesses. I still see the same weaknesses from a month ago. They have
What are
not
those?
been addressed.
What are those weaknesses that you've seen from a month ago?
I the same lazy defensive habits, the same
Sneed, just
poor
so you
pick and
know,
roll defense.
Just so you know, Snead, over the last 9 games, they got the second best defense in the league. That's half a month. So that's not true. The defense is improving. So that's not true.
Their
Their defense
defense
is
is
getting better.
from what angle? Because why you think because they just weren't playing D'Lo? Because that's the only difference I've seen is really he wasn't playing much.
Well, I mean, I think that that's part of it, but I don't think that he was. I don't think that he was solely the reason, because if you remember, I mean, Darvin Ham did the same thing with him, where he was bringing him off the bench. So this
Right.
is what JJ Redick is doing is no different than what Darvin Ham was doing, where he had him in the rotation and took him out of the starting lineup, and he actually was really productive when he took him out of the starting lineup. But you guys, and I don't mean you specifically, Snead, but excuse me, Laker fans wanted him gone. They were the ones who wanted D'Angelo Russell gone for the last 2 years. You've been wanting him gone. So now that he's gone, and you got a new guy in here in Finney Smith, who, for all intents and purposes, I think he's better than Vando. I don't think he's a better defender, but I don't think it's that far off. But I do think that he's a better shooter. So I do think he's going to provide more in that aspect. I think Austin Reeves is going to be better, because now you have Austin Reeves and now when James comes off the floor, this chemistry between Austin Reeves and Anthony Davis can work, because it's been working with those two on the floor anyway. And James has been playing. I think James has played off the ball this season more than he's played his entire career. He's never played off the ball this much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I've noticed that.
So he's not dominating the basketball. In terms of his defense, James isn't 2009 James. He's not 2016 James, but he's also not completely and utterly useless on defense neither. He will give you effort. There's
there's moments where he plays some
and that's
defense.
all you need. That's all you need.
All right, chill. So fine, I'll concede that. But to be playing off the ball more than ever in your career and to still average 5 turnovers.
Still averaging 5 turnovers.
Still averaging 5 turnovers.
I do have a problem with James, his ability to take care of the basketball.
Okay,
recently.
that's what I do too.
I've had a problem with that this season. And not just that. I had a problem with that, him not taking care of the basketball, and on top of that, not getting back on defense. I had a problem with that. But that has changed. That has changed.
All right,
he's gotten better at that.
You've been watching hoops longer than I have, probably twice as long as I have. You played at higher levels than I have. You know the game better than me. But when I look at the Lakers and when I look at Bron, I do not see a contending team. I don't see a contending potential. I don't see them making that much noise in the playoffs. I see them as a play-in team. I see them as like a 7th seed or whatever. They're in that arena. I don't see them any other way. Can you tell me otherwise?
No, I can't. I'm already on record saying that James's days of winning NBA championships are over, because he doesn't know how not to be the man. He doesn't. And because he doesn't know how not to be the man, the days of in order for them to do it, he's got to throw units on his back, and he's too old for that. He can't do that anymore. No, he can't. And I do think that if they can avoid Denver, they can make some noise in the playoffs. I do think that. But what I'm also going to say is I don't think that he can do it himself. And I think he's so used to, prime example would be last year in the playoffs. I think he's so used to having to do that he doesn't know not how to do it.
Do you like the way that these last few years are playing out for Bron's career?
I think that it's great that he's still playing at this level. I think that the fact that we still holding him to a championship level at 38, 39, 40 years old, I think it's fantastic that he's doing this. Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that there's a time when, you can stick around too long.
Right.
I do think that there's a time where that can happen. But in this particular situation, I think this has been great for James's career. And it's been great for the NBA. So,
but you know what's missing, Chill? Remember back in the day, bro, a lot of the old timers that were at the end of the line, they would take that uncle role. Remember how they push guys along, the bench guys, the role guys, coach them up, give them yes. Sure. Remember how they take on that responsibility?
This guy is gonna take my job when I'm on my way out. And so I'm gonna show him how to do the job. 100%. Yes.
I haven't seen that yet, but have you noticed anything like that? Because I don't see it much. I've seen it in a couple moments, a couple games, but really I haven't seen it like the way that you're sitting on the end of the bench. I've seen moments where he's isolated and he's staring at these sheets of paper. Like, what are you looking at? Your stat sheet, your stat line?
I just think we're in a space where James has just been so scrutinized that we're used to it. That's all. And I'm at a point where James is in the twilight of his career. I wouldn't be surprised if he left after this year or maybe next year. That I'm just in a space where I'm just appreciating him. He doesn't have to win anymore for me. The fact that he's still around, I'm just appreciating that he's still here. That's all.
When he was 35,
because when he's gone, we're gonna miss him, Sneed. I promise you that. But I gotta
No,
get
I'm with
going, brother.
All right, bro.
I do.
All right.
I gotta get going. But good to talk to you, my man. I'm just appreciating that he's here. I am, because I can promise you when he's not around anymore, y'all dudes are gonna miss him. I promise you, you're gonna miss him. What up?
What's going on, Chilltown? Thanks
What's up,
for
brother?
having me on. It doesn't
Yep.
look like we're going to be missing LeBron James anytime soon. He just came out and said he wants to play 5 to 7 more years.
No.
And I think that's based on his strength of he has that fire, that inspiration that only a parent can know in terms of playing with his sons. Bronny doing better than we thought, balling out a little bit in the G League, but also we have young Bryce who has a little bit more that James frame, right? 6'6", okay, coming up. And yeah, you know what I mean? It is more than a game to LeBron. Shout out, go ahead and check out that documentary because it's well done in terms of looking at the origins and the roots of where he comes from and who he is, and not having that father figure, Coach Drew being a father figure, but not having his dad with him, so, he's gone, as you see happen, it's a 180 in the other direction, and he sometimes overcompensates, and just in terms of being there and supporting. And so, look,
he actually said that too, Andre. He said when he got older, when he was in the NBA, he started having kids, and he said that he told his father not to come around. Not because of FU or anything like that, but because, I got a good thing going, and it's probably best if you stayed away. Now, if you need something, that's different. And we got people who'll take care of that, but it's probably best if you stayed away. And
right.
I don't have a problem with that. And
No.
I don't. I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't.
You know what I mean? Did LeBron another thing, he's about his day ones. You know what I mean? And if you wasn't with me for the struggle, you know what I mean?
Don't come around now.
I don't want to see you at my doorstep now that we done built something up.
Don't do
so
that.
I think, he's one of these guys, I was thinking about it the other day, frankly, and Chill, you'd be able to kind of, LeBron, what we're seeing in LeBron is what we should have seen with Magic. If Magic was able to continue on as he wanted to, and
Dre,
we didn't understand the science.
Dre, you're gonna get me emotional up here. I swear.
We didn't understand the science of that, but Magic had another 5, 6, 7.
We got robbed, Dre. 4 years of Magic's prime. We got robbed.
We did.
We got robbed. 4 years. Not of Magic's career, of his prime.
Right.
That's just 4 years of his prime. That's not including maybe 3 more years after that where he could have played. But just those 4 years of his prime, we got robbed, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna get me emotional up here, Dre.
Yeah. They took that game 1 in 91 against the Bulls. Okay. A team with an older James Worthy and Kareem. Not so Magic had plenty of gas left on in the tank, and we see that based on how he was battling with Michael Jordan on the Dream Team. But when I was just thinking, just in terms of we don't play a hate. We congratulate and appreciate.
Yes,
but just LeBron and what he's doing and what he brings, the enthusiasm that he has for the game, all the stuff that he does off the court. People want to talk about it. I'm a referee. When LeBron is at those AAU games and he takes the time to show up and be, it's just crazy. The energy is just off the charts. He's at the WNBA games. He's an ambassador. You know what I mean? Much more of an extrovert than Michael Jordan, who had his empire, still has his empire, but is much more reserved. And so we're not taking this lightly. And I'm glad to hear. I feel that he will. The other thing is we do play in this sensitive, pillowcase NBA. Never mind all the load management and guys not showing up to doggone work. Not my New York Knicks. You saw what Mikal Bridges did on Christmas Day. Not my New York Knicks, but this other, and the other thing is you can't touch anybody. And people getting all offended. Chilltown, you come up, Jersey City, St. Anthony's, born and bred. We're always going to note that. But doggone the 80s and 90s, people, people was laying hands on people. Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, we was laying hands on people.
I would, Dre. I would like to see a bit of hand checking come back. I don't know about the rough play, but I would like to see some hand checking come and being able to put some hands on people. I would like to see that come back.
Let's get Derek Harper back and handle it. You know what I mean? And that's what gave you that. You know what I mean? So once Showtime, I'm preaching it. I mean, I see it from a distance, but you lived it. You know what I mean? But that when you're out in the playgrounds and that's what you're used to, when it comes time for the season, you know what I mean? It's just second nature. I don't need an and one. We playing straight through this contact, and we're just gonna keep it moving and grooving. So all the way back to being on point. You did. I like how you stuck up. You know what I mean? In terms of the trolls right now, let's give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay, a lot of things that's going on off the court and in the case that's going on, and we don't just because somebody's famous, you don't have the right to just lump them into what somebody else is doing. So we don't need any of that. I mean, people are gonna have their hot takes just
I
to
hate
be
this.
sincere.
Andre, I don't dislike it, Andre. I hate it. I really do. The fact
Right.
that you can just say something and now this is attached to me. The
Right.
fact that even if I didn't have anything to do with it, the fact that you can say it, now I'm attached to it. Like we got this whole steroid thing going on. Andre, you being an educated man, you know how serious the FBI is.
Correct.
You know how serious the FBI takes going after somebody.
True.
So the fact that they took down Balco in 2005, what would help them more than to go after LeBron James and be right about him? Only except they go after him, and this is what they find.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
There's nothing there to find. The only thing that was remote that they found was a third party who was attached to his wife who had a smoothie shop. That was it.
Right.
Nothing else. And again, this is the FBI. So, I mean, until you show me facts and until you prove it, I don't want to hear this from you guys. I'm not interested in it at all.
No. We don't need to put asterisks, or disparage people and things.
Until
but
you
I just
prove
think
it to me.
Right. And the point that I'm making, I know you got other people, is it's not even a lot of this is just the modern we didn't have all this cold tubs. You know what I mean? And all of these compressed, all of these things that guys have. And I'll just make this kind of, I keep saying this, but LeBron was ahead of the curve when it came to, I'm spending $1 million on my body. Okay, I'm investing in me. Before that was a fad and people wanted to do all this vegan. Chris Paul's a vegan. Cade Cunningham's a vegan. LeBron was ahead of the curve on that. By the way, this NIL revolution that we're talking about, and this is a conversation for another day, where did that all break? That was Gavin Newsom on the shop. Okay, LeBron bringing that into fruition so that players can get now. It's created some things. So long story, not so long. He's a credit to the game. He's a credit to our society. We want to have him along for as much as possible. And as you know, before you come at the king, you best not miss. So people, you have your facts straight when you come in for LeBron. Chilton, I appreciate the time. St. Anthony's Friars, 90-91. We know what time it is. Thank you.
Best team in the country. Best team in the country. All right, Dre, good to talk to you, brother. We had the best team in the country that year, no doubt. What up?
Yo, what up, Chill?
What's up, brother?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm just like you, man. I'm appreciating everything that LeBron is doing, and I've told you before I care about winning, but when it comes to like LeBron, I just want him to keep playing just to see how long he can do this. Like I don't even really care about like winning championships when it comes to him. I just want to see how long he can play at this level. Because I mean, honestly. And I think he's all about breaking records. I would love to see him try to play until he's 50, which it sounds crazy, but I mean, I would like
10 more
I
years.
would like to see that.
Wow.
I would really like to see that. And in regards to the modern technology, I think we're giving that too much credit. Some people are just different, and I think LeBron is just one of those people. Whatever he got in his genetics, he's just different.
He might be. He might be.
Because we still got guys getting hurt. Like Kawhi and Embiid with this modern technology, and even in football, you still got guys retiring early with all this new technology. So I think James is just one of these people who is just different, who has some type of work ethic that's just like it can't be matched. And I think KD has that too, but KD he has a lot of injuries, so he's just not built like LeBron. So I hope LeBron can keep this up, man, and I'm definitely appreciating it. And I want him to try to go after every record. Go after John Stockton's assist record. I mean, go after who's the rebounding leader all time?
Chamberlain.
Okay, is that close for LeBron? That's not okay. I mean, he might as well try to just go for it. I mean, he's already in his 40s, so I just think he should just keep playing.
Yeah.
And even if he gets like where he's still like not good, I want him to just keep playing until he can't run no more.
Do it till the wheels fall off, right? Do it till the wheels fall off. I just don't want to see him like I saw Chris Webber, where Webb looked like he was nailed to the floor. That's what Chris Webber looked like to me. He looked like he was just nailed to the floor, and he could hardly run. But I don't think the NBA would allow. I think that they would come up with a way to get James out the league if James was around 5 more years from now. I don't think that they would allow that. No, I can't see them having this dude in the league in year 27, right? In year 26, something like that. Nah, I don't think that they would allow. I think they would come up with some sort of way to get James out of the league. No
I
doubt
mean,
about that.
it's entertaining though, seeing somebody this old play because it hurt me when Tom Brady played and he was 45. I wanted
45.
him to with his last year, they still made it to the playoffs. Like I don't take stuff like that for granted. It's not easy making it to the playoffs, especially
Very
when you're
difficult.
like 40, 45. And right now the Lakers are the 5 seed. Like
Yep.
that's crazy. He's not like I would still say he's leading the team, but it's crazy that your first or second best player, who's 40 years old, has you as a playoff team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So it's just no. I don't see how anybody can criticize Brian right now. I don't think he's the GOAT, but just in regards to what he's doing, I don't see how people can criticize him given his age.
So celebrating the king. Good to talk to you, Classic.
Yep, you have a good one.
Yep. I don't think the league will allow him to play that much longer. Nah, I think they'll come up with a way to get him out of here. I just don't see it. No, I can't see it happening. What up?
You know how proud of you I was the other day
About what?
when you finally said repeatedly, "I'm over LeBron."
I am.
Yeah. And there's a reason for it. You over LeBron because there's nothing. The game is not moving forward in terms of marketing the new what you call it face as you referred to.
Mhm.
They're not. They still trying to revert to LeBron and Steph. And that's what and I told you a long time ago. Anytime you stand too close to the problem, you become a target. So if a whole bunch of LeBron fans is standing around you in a mall and then the shooter pops out, bro, like guess what? You a target now, chill. You because you standing too close to them.
Mhm.
You standing way too close to them. Listen, like the thing about LeBron James that I've always and this is one of the few guys that I could say I've watched it from beginning to end, and I've watched his career to from beginning to end, man. Like and when they talk about the all time greats and when they talk about the Jordans and the Kareems, it's something somebody said like since 2003 the dynamic has changed where you don't have to like, all of a something we woke up and you don't have to accomplish what Jordan and Kareem and Magic and all of them have accomplished no more. So now the criteria has changed. The all-time criteria
Winning
is
still matters.
changing now.
Winning still matters. You still
Yeah,
have to
winning
win.
still matters, but that's not what the media is pushing. You know that like the LeBron machine is pushing. You don't have to be 6-0 in the finals. You don't have to pass Jordan. You don't gotta be 6 MVPs deep to pass Kareem. You don't gotta do that.
Yeah.
You don't gotta do none of that. You don't
Yeah.
like they make it they change the criteria. No, here's the thing. You've been around long enough to notice, and I'm pretty sure you've been around people long enough. And after 1969, when Bill Russell retired, the criteria for that GOAT title it changed. Why? Because nobody could win 11 championships. Then after 1989, when Kareem retired, the criteria changed again because nobody could win six and regular season MVPs. Nobody did it. And then now you fast forward to today, the criteria changes again because nobody has gone 6-0 in the NBA finals. The criteria has changed when it comes to these all-time great conversations. Why is that?
Because it's unattainable. That's why.
It's unattainable.
That's why.
Is it unattainable, or is it that people just decide in their minds that it's unattainable?
Of course it is. How many guys? Okay, Jabbar won 6 league MVPs. Jabbar been out the league almost 40 years.
Right.
How many guys have won 6 league MVPs? Nobody's done that.
Jordan
Nobody.
came close. He won
Yeah,
5.
Jordan might have come close, but he didn't do it. So again, Bill Russell won 11 times in 12 years. 11. 8 straight, by the way. Who's done that? Nobody did that.
The closest person to that was Tom Brady, won 7.
Right, and that's in another sport. That's in a
Yes.
completely another sport. That ain't even that's not the same. So I mean, I think that we look at these guys to your point, when you're talking about the criteria changing, well, if the criteria changes every generation, then we have to adapt to it. We can't just roll with, okay, this is what it is. No, this is what the criteria is. So I mean, that's really all I can say about it.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. Once the criteria changes, now the person who has set that bar, now we have to now what we do in today's media, we start to lower him because that what we felt like what he did is not only an anomaly, what we felt like it was an not only an anomaly, but what we felt like it was done in a time where, all right, yo, we could just break his accomplishment into pieces as the years go by, as the decades go by, and as the century goes by, and it's like, oh no, Bill Russell ain't top 3 no more. Now he 5. Oh, all right, 20 years later, now he number 7, and 25 years after that, now he number 9. He barely top 10.
People do come by and they're better. I mean, that happens. I mean, what just because you're the standard, that doesn't mean somebody can't pass you. No, that's not the case at all. I'm not ridiculous enough to think that, Magic Johnson, 20 years from now, who'll be removed 50 years from the NBA, that there's not going to be a point guard that I've seen in my life better than him. No, I ain't ridiculous enough to think that. No, there's guys who that's why the league moves forward, and there's guys who are better. You can't just stick with, this guy is the standard and he's always been. You telling me that ain't nobody been better than Babe Ruth? Babe Ruth was gone 100 years. 100 years. Ain't nobody been better than Babe Ruth? Nobody been better than Jackie Robinson? Nobody been better than any of these guys? And these guys been gone for all of the years that these guys have been gone. Nobody been better than them? Of course they have.
Chilltown, listen, I will leave you with this. In order to climb up the ranks, you have to pass the incumbent. You have to. So, you need XYZ to get past this guy. You need XYZ to get past this guy. That's how Magic, Bird, Jordan, that's how they all play. That's how they all played the game.
How did
winning meant everything?
First of all, Leaf, that's just not true. Because first of all, we was talking about Jordan being the GOAT in 1993. He had 3 championships. That's it. He had 3 of them. That's a quarter of what Russell had.
Of what Russell did. I understand that.
That's half of what Jabbar had. He had 3 league MVPs. That's half of what Jabbar had. Half. And we was talking about him being the best ever.
And they was wrong at the time. And I felt like that goes to the point I was talking about the criteria changing.
Yep.
The thing is that you have to pass the incumbent. And I think now today's generation, more so than 1993, is more so like, let me create the criteria and accomplishments and just bleep out everything that everybody has done before me.
Maybe
that's where we at now.
I gotta go.
And that's why LeBron is in these conversations.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you. I had to get my man in here, so.
Man, shut up, man. Before I come back cooking you full time. Man, shut up, man. Shut up before I make this full time, bro. Because I see you got light work. You got light work, man. You ain't even got no comp, man. You been let off. I don't let you off the hook for a long time, buddy. But I see you in here jockstrap sniffing on 40 years old. Like I said, tell that bum to go ahead and retire. I heard him. They talking about he can play another 5 or 7 years. Get that bum out the league, man. He's the reason why the ratings and everything has went down in the league. He don't came in here, took up all the other young dudes' shine. Don't hog up their airspace. Still got the team out here making trades for him. And he ain't going to do nothing but get beat in the first round, man. Why are we even wasting time? Why do you keep wasting time with this guy, man? What do you see in this guy? Why do you keep wasting time with this dude, bro? He ducked the smoke in Cleveland and ran to Miami to go form a super team. When Miami got old, he ran back to Cleveland to go form another super team. When they got old and couldn't win no more, he ran to LA and got AD. Won a bubble ring and been out here trading everybody and their mama since.
See, Ticket, that's bullshit right there, what you're talking about, because if he would have lost in 2020, you'd be like, you can't even win in the bubble. So that's bullshit right there. Let's rewind back to him leaving. Let's rewind back to him leaving Miami. Ticket, that's good business. If it ain't working, yes, it is. If it's not working anymore, why am I staying here? What am I doing here? And it ain't like I demanded to be traded. I actually fulfilled my obligations.
You're in the finals, dog. You're in the finals.
We're barely doing it. You saw what Chris Bosh
was. What do you mean barely doing it? That was his fault.
You saw what Dwayne Wade was.
Everybody has to take a back seat to this dude, bro. That's the problem I have with guys like you and people who praise this dude. everybody got to take a backseat to LeBron James. It's crap, bro. We should not be talking about this.
So how come everybody got to take a backseat? How come it's crap that everybody got to take a backseat to him, Ticket? When people got to take a backseat to Jordan, it ain't a problem.
What are you talking about? Hold on. What are you talking about?
Exactly
Jordan went on no, I'm trying to win a championship talk at age 40 years old. He did that for the organization, for ownership, for the organization to help put seats in people in the seats.
Right.
We know that. Your boy is still out here acting like he's still trying to win championships. Hogging up the league.
That's the narrative that you guys
hogging
created.
up AD.
I think it's over.
He said that. Hogging up AD's airshine. Won't let AD just have the team. Got the team still out here making all these crazy moves, deflating dudes' values, making bad trades.
That wasn't James' fault with D'Angelo Russell. Y'all wanted D'Angelo Russell out for 2 years now.
I didn't want him out. I didn't want him out.
I ain't trying to hear that.
I didn't want him out. I didn't have a problem with D'Angelo Russell. That's y'all problem.
Right.
He played great under Darvin Ham. Then here comes JJ Redick. Now he can't play no more. He's on the bench.
Ticket, are you really going to sit there, Ticket? Y'all really going to sit there and tell me that I didn't hear Michael Jordan say I have an attitude about the way I win? There's an attitude about the way I play.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
he did come back. He did come back to the Washington Wizards because it was a part of ownership, but he 100% did not come back to lose. No, he did not. Don't do that.
He was not at 40 years old, rearranging the whole NBA, trying to get another championship, bro.
He's playing in Washington in front of Jerry Stackhouse, who's better than him. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, Ticket.
What your boy, hold on, we talking about what your boy does, though. Your boy rearranges entire franchises. You know how many trades he's had since he's been with the Lakers? How many players have been moved? Bro, he's had over 100 players move since he joined the Lakers. 100. He's only been with the Lakers for like 7 years, bro. 100 players turned over.
This is year 7 that he's been.
100. That's insane. Come on, bro.
Okay, so first of all, rewind. Alex Caruso, that wasn't his fault. That was a money thing.
That was
Malik Monk. No, it was not. No, it wasn't. The organization already made that clear.
That's not true.
The organization already made that clear. That was not his fault.
I'm gonna tell you why it was his fault. It was his fault because his agency decided to give the money to Taylor Horton Tucker, who was with Clutch, instead of Alex Caruso. That's what happened.
That's not what happened.
That is what happened.
That's not what happened.
They was either gonna, bro. They was either gonna pay Taylor Horton Tucker. They was gonna pay Taylor Horton Tucker, or they were gonna pay Alex Caruso. They decided to give the money to Horton Tucker, and then they turned around and traded him and shipped him to Pluto.
The Laker organization and the Laker Rob Pelinka said that he made a mistake.
He made a mistake listening to LeBron James.
He said he made a mistake letting
he made a mistake. He made a mistake.
It had nothing to do with listening to LeBron James. Same thing with Malik Monk. They couldn't pay Malik Monk. Malik Monk was a money decision. They had to let him walk because
they could have paid. Hold on, they could have paid Malik Monk.
No, they couldn't. He went to the Sacramento Kings for $19 million. They had no money for him. That's just not true. That's not true, Ticket.
How much did he get in Sacramento?
I just told you. He made $19 million 2 years and $19 million.
How much did he make in Sacramento right now?
I just told you.
They could have paid that.
If they could have paid it, then they wouldn't have let him go. In fact,
James
is a big fan of. James is a huge fan of Malik Monk. He loved Malik Monk. He wanted Malik Monk on the team. He's on record saying that.
I'm about to eat to that point real quick.
Please.
They could have paid him, and that bum wouldn't have held the team hostage and made him trade for Russell Westbrook. He messed up the whole team.
No, that's not true, Ray.
If that is true, him and AD was saying it on record. We want Russ. Go get Russ. They were saying it on record.
And teams do that, and players do that all the time. Ticket, how come you don't say nothing? I'm glad you brought that up because you got to use that. You got to keep that. No, you hold on because you got to keep that same energy with Joker because Joker asked for Russ. So do the same thing with him.
Hold on.
Do the same thing with him. Just like Magic asked for Mark McGuire.
No.
For James Worthy. That was going on.
You're not finna win that right there because here's the difference. Jokic went and got Russ as a free agent. They didn't trade anybody to get him. LeBron James and them traded championship pieces that helped them win a championship to go get Russell Westbrook, bro. Cut it out. Now, see how easy it is for you to get cooked?
No.
They traded championship pieces. They traded the rest of their championship pieces to go get Russell Westbrook. That's what they messed up the entire.
Are you on record saying to me right now that players don't ask for other players, even when they're under contract for other players? We see that all the time. So you got to keep that same energy with those other players. So when Joker, no, I heard everything that you just said. Ticket, what you're trying to tell me? Is
Jokic out here crying about getting Jamal Murray traded? Jamal Murray ain't playing well. Is Jokic out here doing this passive aggressive crying about trade Jamal Murray?
And Ticket and James ain't doing that with nobody on the crew.
He is doing it.
Who is he doing it with, Ticket?
Hold on. He been doing it. He did it with Russ.
No, he did not.
Doing it with
No,
he
he
did
did
doing
not.
it right. They
No,
said right.
that's
Hold on.
not true, Ticket. That's
Oh
a
my
lie.
God. He said
That
right.
is
Hold
a
on.
lie, Ticket.
They
That is
said
a
right up there and
fucking
threw
lie.
Russell Westbrook under the bus. Then they threw D'Lo under the bus.
Ticket, you are on record with me saying that the
screwed
Laker
Darvin
organization
Ham.
screwed up
Darvin
Russell
Ham
Westbrook.
under the
You
bus.
didn't say anything about LeBron James
Man,
when they got you. This is you saying that to me on
you
camera.
praising, bro. You need
This
to
is
stop
you saying this to me on camera,
LeBron
Ticket.
James, man.
I
You
specifically
got a
remember you
vacation, man.
telling me
You
that
had a long vacation, bro. You had a long vacation from really getting pressure put on you, bro. You got wannabe me's running around here that can't feel the shoes, all kind of stuff, man. Y'all, you need to stop playing, man. For real, bro. You need to stop playing before I really come out of retirement and start cooking your ass full time, man.
Come on, bring it.
Because I will do it, bro. I'm not playing no
games.
games, man. I'm enjoying myself right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, bro. Don't make me come out of retirement and cook you on a regular basis, bro. Because you come out here and you lie and you move the goalposts.
You are the one who said to me, you are on camera saying to me, Ticket, that the Lakers are the ones who screwed up Russell Westbrook. You're the ones who traded for him. And then
that's a
now
lie.
you said that. It was you, me, and Elder are on camera.
That's a
you
lie.
said that.
I said LeBron
that is not a lie,
James
Ticket.
messed up. I said LeBron James. He the one that traded for the man. He the one. Him and AD the ones that pushed for the dude. That's their problem. They wrecked the team doing that. Then you got rid of Schroeder. You wanted to go get him back after you got rid of him. Then you got rid of Kuzma. You tried to go get him back after you got rid of him. You got rid of KCP. He goes and wins a championship with the goddamn going. You traded KCP in the deal for Russ. He goes to Washington and ends up in Denver. Wins another championship with Denver. Come on, man. Cut it out, bro. That's your king. That's LeBron James. You think they made this move with D'Lo right now? And when they got them two bum role players and gave up 3 picks without LeBron James saying, yeah, that's what I want. Come on, bro. Stop this, man.
And every last one of these star players in the league have some say so. Organizations come to them when they make trades or when they're thinking about signing free agents. They come to them. Hey, how do you feel about this guy? Hey, we're thinking about moving on from this guy. You think Giannis didn't know anything after the fact? You think Giannis might not have signed off? I don't think Giannis signed off on Drew Holiday. I do think that they came to him and told him that we're doing this.
Giannis and the players, I said this before. Giannis and the players are responsible for Adrian Griffin getting fired. I've said this on more, and not only that, the same thing with Budenholzer. Because all Giannis got to do is say, nah, I want the coach, and he's still there.
No, that's not true, because the same thing happened with Jason Kidd. Got fired. No, I heard everything that you just said, because Jason Kidd got fired.
But that's a different time. At that time, when J. Kidd was coaching, Giannis did not have the same type of power he got now. He was just coming into his own. He wasn't the level player he is when he played with Budenholzer and won a chip.
But we still have young guys in the league who have. We still have young guys in the league who have an immense amount of power. Anthony Edwards has an immense amount of power.
They had
so
more.
Giannis
They had
in
more
2017,
time.
I think it was.
They had more time with the franchise.
But they have more time with their franchise. He was the most improved player. If
they
he
got
went
more
to
time with the
management
franchise
and told them that I want Jason Kidd here, they wouldn't have done that.
They
Jason
have
Kidd
more
was the one
time.
who told him to chill out.
That's not true.
Jason Kidd who did that.
That's
so
not.
That's like Ticket.
That's like Shea in year 3, bro. Cut it out. He didn't have that type of power in year 3. Shea got that power after CP3 left OKC and he started balling out. For real. So cut it out. The same thing with Jokic. Jokic didn't have that power the first 2 or 3 years in Denver. Jokic is just coming into his own. Once Jokic started coming to MVP level, now he got that power. Same thing with the other players around the league. Kawhi Leonard didn't have that power in San Antonio. As soon as he got out of the last year in San Antonio, everything changes.
Giannis did. It was
Giannis
Jason
did
Kidd.
not. The first 3 years.
Yes, he did. It was Jason Kidd who talked him off the ledge. He was going up to management.
The first 3 years. Hold on.
Let's be clear about that.
The first 3 years in Milwaukee, I know for a fact because my boy was on the coaching staff. He did not have no power like that. He did not have no power. My boy was on the coaching staff.
That's why Jason.
He did not. Hold on. Giannis did not have no power like that. They knew. They knew Giannis was going to be good. They never knew Giannis was going to be at this level. Nobody ever knew. They knew he was going to be solid, but they didn't know he was going to be at this level. My boy is on the coaching staff, bro. So I know this for a fact. And I'm gonna say something else to you, bro.
Yep.
You need to stop jackstrap sniffing LeBron James. The man need to retire, go home, and let the other dudes shine, bro.
I'm ready. To be honest with you, Ticket. All I'm up here doing is just celebrating his birthday. I'm ready for him to be gone. I don't think I'm already on record. I'm already on record saying that I don't think that he's going to be here after the season. I think he retires after the season.
He ain't
definitely
because he's too self-absorbed.
I can't see him playing.
He's too self-absorbed. He's going to play another year, and he's going to announce before the season so we can have a farewell tour. That dude is too self-absorbed to walk away without notice, man. Cut it out. And you know this. He's going to say, hey, next year's my last year. And they're gonna give a farewell tour. He's gonna want all that, bro. He's not gonna go out this year and just retire. He's gonna make it a big thing that he's going out next year, bro. Cut it out, man. And you know how he gets down, man. And you need to stop the cap, man. For real, bro.
You're the one who need to stop the nonsense, Ticket. You're the one who's seeing. You're the one that's off, Ticket. You are terrible. I will see you soon, Ticket. I need you to come back. I need this kind of energy from you, Ticket.
You've been playing against bums.
I need you, Ticket.
You got a few
I
ballers,
need you.
but you've been
Where
playing
you been,
against scrubs.
Ticket? Where
Man,
you
out here been playing at the YMCA. You need to bring your ass to the real gym.
I need you. Where you
Chilltown
been, brother?
Chilltown is playing pickup at the YMCA with bums at 8 o'clock at night, y'all. This is what he doing. He ain't coming to the real court where the pro ballers is playing. He going over to the YMCA putting up 30 on scrubs and then thinking he doing something. Man, come on, bro. Stop playing with me, man, before I come out of retirement and blow the whole house down, man.
Come get some, Ticket. Yeah, good to talk to you, brother. And on that note, oh, my boy Ticket, man, Ticket is necessary. Bring Ticket ass out of retirement. Bring Ticket back. Bring Ticket back. Bring Ticket back. No doubt about that. We need Ticket. Ticket is necessary. So, on that note, I got a couple more minutes left, and I got time for one more. Oh, he's gone. So, on that note, we're gonna shake the spot. We are gonna shake the spot. It was good to see you guys tonight, celebrating James's 40th birthday. I will see you guys soon. You know where to find me at. If I'm not here, I'm on TikTok every night. I'm on TikTok every morning, 9 a.m. I'm on the panel from 11 to 2. You know where to find me if I'm not here. So I will see you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talk to your mother? Call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon, man. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was great.